Hey John, how you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. How are you?
Doing very well. And what's your name?
Briana.
Briana?
Yes.
So nice to meet you. I'm really glad we were able to make some time and get this in because I saw that you guys had made $38,000.
That's correct.
Tell me about that.
A little background story here. I'm a car guy. I was 18 years in the car business, and right around when all the COVID stuff happening, I didn't have a job in the car business anymore. So we had to think about something to do, and Brianna was actually located in Raleigh, and she said, "Hey, why don't you think about real estate?" And I still was doing the car thing for a little while. And August 1st, actually it was July 28th, was the last time we actually messed around with it because I was having a real bad week. And we actually sat and listened to a whole bunch of Max Maxwell and some other Wholesale Inc. Those guys, as far as training wise, and say, hey, let's go ahead and run the full thing with this real estate deal because we've already purchased DealMachine and we toured around with it, but we really didn't concentrate on it. So once we got back from that sale, it was an event in Louisiana. We drove back home. And that next day we went out, started driving for dollars. Landed our first contract July 29th. Set up for closing. Landed 2 days later on a drive for dollars. We found a for sale by owner. And the house was a distressed property. It was one of those deals you say, man, I don't know if I should put an offer on this house, but I'm gonna put an offer on the house. The buyer wanted 25,000. We ended up selling the closing at 18. Less than 2 hours later, we found a buyer, contracted that one for $25,000. So first deal was 3,000. The next one was 7,000. The following Monday, we had another deal. We landed a buyer on a drive for dollars. That first Sunday, calling that Monday, landed a deal that paid $7,000. And then we had a big deal. We put on contract the very next day. Then it was like $20,500. So within the week of driving, we had 4 contracts on properties. And we closed on 3 of them tomorrow. One just closed today. The last one's going to close. The biggest deal is going to close on September 2nd.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that you guys actually found a for sale by owner sign instead of driving by it. You actually just, I'm assuming you just called them.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Stopped right there and made a phone call, and he said, hey, I can meet you guys. What are you doing right now? So he actually came out there and met us. We had a contract in hand. And we negotiated a little bit with the owner right then, and it was great because he actually walked in and told, I know it needs some work. Then we knew we had an opportunity to get the property a little bit lower than what it was.
Yeah. So Briana, were you involved with this too?
Oh yeah, for sure. Since the beginning. I actually have a background in real estate. As John mentioned, I'm an agent in North Carolina, and I relocated here to Alabama, and we literally, once we were dialed in, we hit the ground running. So I'm excited, and we have a lot to be grateful for to DealMachine because that's one of the first softwares that we used and was effective.
Thank you so much. What's like the number one thing you felt like was helpful from DealMachine?
Me personally, the driving for leads. I mean, it's kind of essential. We hear Max Maxwell talk about it. John, heard Christina Aguilera talk about it, and we actually did it, and it works. So
yeah, it was actually, we signed up for a little bit. So we came back during the week of July, the last week of July. And a webinar. We signed up for it, listened to it. And she said, if you had nothing else, if you just had DealMachine, you're able to drive for dollars. And then we went from there. So the number one thing, as far as she talking about like the street engine, that was great. And then when we found out how to actually locate where we can turn it into, hey, find vacant properties, and then, dial in from that standpoint, and then tracing our routes back and knowing, like, blocking off a certain area. Hey, we're going to hit this location here.
You just broke up there at the end. I'm sorry. Can you say that last thing one more time?
I said the utilization of the street engine. Once we actually dialed in and found out how far we can dial in as far as vacant properties or absentee owners, where we can say, hey, we're going to take this block and this neighborhood, mile radius, and we'll drive specifically in here, and we find properties. We even went down to the state line because we're not too far from the Tennessee state line, and went from there and blocked off a certain route in a rural area. And that's how I was able to get those 2 properties under contract the other day. Was we found that area, went by it, and then dropped the mail piece off that. Once we because the rural area is a little bit different. Once we got found the actual property, made a call to the property to the owner, and then actually dropped some mail out there to him. The guy actually calls, "Hey, I'm looking to sell my home," and we went out there on an appointment. So phone had an appointment with Josh for an actual enterprise call, and during that call, we had to actually cancel the call because we actually had an appointment with that owner on the mail piece. During we talking to the owner, we found out he had another property sale, so we put 2 properties on the contract off 1 mail piece.
Wow. 2 off 1 mail piece. It's like, I always hear stories like that. It happens when you least expect it, right? You might add 300, 400 properties, nothing. And then 1 lead that you add will bring you 3 deals or something crazy like that. I love how you guys were consistent. Did you have success right away, or did you have to actually stay consistent even when you weren't getting any good leads?
Well, when we really dialed it in, we had success. And what I mean by that, we had purchased the software, and we still was going out to doing these staffed events with the the card with the dealers, with a group of certain dealerships in different states. But when we did that last day in Louisiana, we locked in, and I said since July 29th, we've been hitting the ground running, and we really had some great success.
That's amazing. July 29th this year? Wow. Cool. I also see you've got some property management shirts on. Do you guys do another business as well, property management?
This is our company, JQ Property Management. So we try to be a full spectrum. We got our first flip, so we're actually working on that deal. That was probably one of the deals we did, but we do wholesale. We have a 1 rental property, and then we have we're doing the flip. So we're trying to grow our portfolio.
Okay, gotcha. Now I have a question for you, John and Briana. How do you guys separate your duties? Do you guys have a clear separation, or do you guys go through everything together?
Everything's together. We actually did we signed with REIRL as well as you guys, and I think it goes hand in hand. And we actually had a call where we're doing a drive for dollars. I actually did the video and put it on Instagram and say, hey, we're driving for dollars. Hashtag DealMachine. Hashtag REIRL. And I just put it on there, and I put it on our Facebook group, and because we're part of the REIRL and Max Maxwell's group. And we put it out there, and we got a lot of feedback from the REIRL guys. And so it was because it was driving for dollars. She'll sit there and make the phone calls if she can, if we find for sale by owner signs. And we both take pictures on the opposite side. While I'm driving, we throw the 4-ways on. We find the neighborhood. She'll take the right side of the street. I'll take the left side of the streets. And we try to add as many properties as we can during the drive.
I love it. What was the biggest roadblock that you guys faced?
We had, at one time, we had so many leads over, I say, about a 3-week period, 2-3-week period, that we had to stop, back up, and try to find a way to actually contact these leads. Just because we closed a few leads kind of fast, we just had a virtual assistant to actually help us out with making some calls. Okay,
gotcha. So where'd you find your virtual assistant?
The other partner, the Q, he actually is a full-time real estate agent. And he said, hey, I got I'm trying to hire a virtual assistant, so I'll just, share the information with you, and you guys can go ahead and set her up. So we set up the actual call, interviewed the virtual assistant, and she's been great for us.
Awesome. That's really great to have good help. I know how much that can take a burden off your back. Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you for doing the call. We definitely want to send you some DealMachine swag, so look out for that. Lindsay from our team is going to send that to you as well. And then also, if you guys have like a picture of yourselves, we would love to get that to use in our YouTube thumbnail as well and feature you.
It paused on us, David. Say it one more time, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I was saying that we're going to get you some swag, and if you have a good photo of yourselves, we would love to use that on the thumbnail for the YouTube video.
Absolutely. We greatly
feature you guys. So what are you going to do from here? Are you going to are you going to just continue driving for dollars? What are you going to do with the $38,000? That's the right question.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because what we've done is we knew we had to grow our team. we've actually, that's why we actually upgraded from, to the actual enterprise package, because we have added and another driver, to actually 2 drivers in North Carolina, because that's where, we go back and forth at least twice a month to North Carolina. So we're looking to do either virtual or actually go into the market. We've looking to add 2 more drivers here. So we're growing our team. And on top of that, we still believe that you got to go out there and touch every deal, you can, because you can't take your hands off the wheel.
Yeah, I totally hear that. I feel like if you're too far away from things, then things can start to fall apart. That's a very real thing. So I think that's smart. I love that you're hiring drivers to expand and you're still staying involved. And I heard you say you bumped up to the enterprise plan. So I'm assuming that you're doing some recruiting. You've got multiple drivers. How has that gone for you so far?
We just got her family on board, which would be her mother and her sister on board this past Sunday. We went out there and got them.
Good call.
I'm getting my mother and my sister hooked up here. So, we're trying to break out. We see different locations that definitely we can get into as far as zip code wise. And we try to break down the code and work it from that angle. So we want to cover as much every area as we can, along with her continuing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you did say you filter absentee owner and vacant, but I just did want to bring up, I have done a lot of deals owner occupied too that were just run down. So that might be a good area for you guys to expand as well, potentially. And then, is your mom liking it, Briana? Has she gotten into the app yet?
She has. She'll call every so often. Hey, how do I do this? And we actually upgraded her from she has now partner view, so she gets to see a lot more.
She gets to see a lot more. That's awesome. So she probably likes that.
Yeah, she's engaged.
Good. Okay, well, you guys have closed. Was this 1 deal or 2 deals? It was 38,000.
No, it's 4 total deals we've actually closed.
Oh, I missed that.
We got 2 more in the contract.
Wow.
We've been rolling, man. So,
okay, so is it the 38,000 total?
$38,500 total.
Okay, does that include the extra 2 that are coming, or is that not yet?
No, that's okay. Not yet.
What's that looking like?
We're tentatively trying to work at about a $9,000 deal on the other property, and the other one's going to be probably a flip.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad since July. That's like a month. Yeah.
So we're trying to. But my first deal, I got real courageous, and I said Maxwell. I just want to show that right there on Instagram. I sent him a message. I said, "Hey man, I was willing. I'm new to real estate," because what he said out there was kind of motivating.
Yeah.
And then when he introduced, he said, DealMachine. I said, hey, you know what? These guys, because you guys were doing the business about the same time.
Yeah, we did. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, just listen to you guys. I said, you know what? I'm going to meet that guy one day. And I'll tell you what else, the Polites. It was actually it was an interview with Maxwell on a podcast, because Wilson Hall's podcast, on the way to a sale in Home, Louisiana. And we said, hey, you know what? Why not us? So, and
absolutely.
Then an interview with Josh. Hey, we sold just as many deals as the other guys in a short time frame. Why not us?
Yeah.
So we're just letting you know, man, that we appreciate the tool that you actually created. And also we appreciate the opportunity for you guys sitting down and talk with us, because we're not going nowhere. We plan on being one of the biggest in the North Alabama or greater. So.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. That means so much to hear that from you. And I appreciate your time as well for sharing this, because you could be out finding deals, but we're going to feature you. And then I think that once you guys get in a good groove with your drivers, that we should have another conversation and get you guys on one of our bi-weekly webinars to talk about how you guys are expanding with drivers.
Absolutely. It'd be our pleasure to do that.
Thank you so much, John and Briana. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and look out for a link from Lindsay if you haven't gotten it yet. But we're going to follow up with you with some swag, and also feel like we had something else for you. Oh, if you have the picture, if you want to send that to us, we can grab it off your Facebook page if it's there too. That's fine.
You came in broken again, David. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, just don't forget to send us a picture, or we can grab it from your Facebook page if you like that one.
Hey, we can send the video of us riding around for dollars too and say, hey, hashtag DealMachine drive for dollars.
You posted a video?
We did. We posted on our Instagram, JQ Property Management. We put it on.
JQ Property. I'm going to find that.
JQ Property Management.
Got it.
On our Instagram. We sure did.
Well, thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.